So if you haven't seen it yet, we recently did a video where we broke down the entire Jackson range, talked about the different tiers of guitars you can get and the different guitars in it. And in that video, I said this. The USA Jackson range, they're pretty limited, well, very limited, considering that they only exclusively make the guitars to order. Well, guess what? That is now wrong. Nice one. But in all seriousness, this video is about a huge step for Jackson Guitars, which is their brand new, just launched Jackson American Series. It's a brand new flagship line for the company with their first ever made in Corona, California standard line of guitars. Jackson have made guitars in the USA since the 1980s. So what's changed now? Well, for a long time in the 80s, they actually moved their production out of the USA into places like Japan and the Far East in general. Since then, most of their standard lines, including the X Series and the Pro Series, have all been produced outside of the USA. And until today, USA-made Jacksons have been a bit of a rarity. You can get them and there is a team producing them, but they're all exclusively made to order, which means if you ordered one now from scratch, it would take you about 18 months until you received it. This is a bit like Fender's custom shop. In fact, they're both made in the same factory. It's just Jackson has got its own little corner of the factory with their own Jackson custom shop staff. The lack of availability was always a bit of a shame because the USA Jacksons were always so good. And given that the USA is where Jackson's roots are, it's always made them a bit more desirable than, say, the Japanese or the other Pro or X series. Well, from today, USA-made models will officially be part of the standard line for Jackson guitars. Not only that, but it's going to be their new flagship range. It's Jackson going back to their American roots. They will be the best of the best that Jackson have to offer without going into the custom shop that we've already mentioned. They will have the best hardware, the best quality of wood, the best craftsmanship, the best electronics, the looks, the feels, everything. So another thing you may notice if you've already had a little look at the range and some of the launch features and specs, there's only one guitar, admittedly in 4 colors, but given that this is a video about the launch of an entire series, you could argue that that's a bit strange. Well, don't worry, there is a reason for it, and this guitar is the first of an extensive new line for Jackson moving forward. They're currently building up an entire base of operations within the Fender factory in Corona, California, Fender being the owners of the Jackson brand. By starting with one guitar in this process, they're essentially making sure they don't bite off more than they can chew in terms of the production. I mean, let's face it, there's nothing worse than when a brand announces a whole new series of guitars and we all get really excited about it, and then it's about 6 months to a year before anyone sees any of them arrive into the shops. It defeats the point of a product release, right? Down the line, there will of course be loads more classic Jackson guitars that you know and love getting the American standard treatment. I actually already know what's coming next. I'm just not allowed to tell you. Sorry. But the one I can tell you about, which is the first in the lineup, is the Jackson Soloist SL3. If you're not sure what a soloist is, then go back and watch our Understanding Jackson video because I explain it in detail and the difference between that and some of the other similar looking guitars. If you do know what it is, then of course you'll know it as what is essentially the quintessential Jackson guitar. The main headline of the Soloist is that it's a neck-through guitar join with top-tier upper fret access, which just makes it the ultimate shred guitarist's dream. Combine that with high-output Seymour Duncan humbuckers, as well as things like a Floyd Rose and other premium features such as Goto tuning heads, and you have a guitar that is the ultimate high-performance shredding machine. Let's not beat around the bush then, let's hear how it sounds. So there you have it. Jackson are going back to their roots with this American-made series of guitars, and they've kicked it off with what is undoubtedly their greatest hit, the Soloist. What do you guys think though? Do you think this is a good move for Jackson? Are you excited to see these guitars? What do you want to see next? Let us know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to see more things like this, and we will see you very soon.